Hey everyone. So we're going to go over some settings in Zoom that should help you out. And again, this is for Zoom Basic, not Pro or any type of upgraded platform for Zoom. And when you make some changes here, it may change existing created meetings. So just kind of be aware of that. Um, the first option, so your settings, right? When you log into Zoom, you logs on the profile, come down here, just click on setting, you'll get here. The first option is waiting room. You may or may not want this toggled. Um, if you have it turned off, this means that, students can log in, and when they log in, you don't have to worry about admitting them. You might find that helpful because with, technology and students may or may not get kicked for whatever reason. If you're screen sharing, you won't see that because the waiting room only comes up under chat. Or like if you're already in breakout rooms and someone gets kicked for whatever reason, and you may not get that notification. So this will allow them to do that. The downside is that mean anyone with the ID and password can get in, but hopefully that won't happen as much. And so that brings us down to the next one. You can't undo the password. Again, in the spring there was a bunch of Zoom bombing, so this should help with that. But you could change your password if you want, and this will change for anything. So if you've already scheduled a meeting, you may not want to do that. You might want to wait. But by changing the password, you could change it to something else that you find that you might find interesting or want to know. And that goes down here too with another passcode. As you go through then, so some of the options you have are you could, for example, have your video whenever you join in. It'll allow your video to already be on, so you don't have to worry about clicking it on or anything like that. Um, the participants video I leave off, and the reason is because when kids log in, sometimes they might need a minute just to collect themselves. They're just getting logged in, so this way I let them turn their own video. I definitely, want students to have their video. It helps with engagement, I think. So I encourage that. I tell you to leave off the join before host. If you're in a meeting or a previous class, you don't want your next class to everyone start jumping in to a classroom before you were able to get there. So this will just put them on a waiting screen until you start the class. The next one, I like to mute everyone on entry. This does two things. One, it'll mute them when they first log in. Again, a lot of times, people hit enter and they're not really thinking, okay, I'm really ready right now. So this will mute them and then you can unmute them. The other thing is when students come back from breakout rooms, this will also mute them on that. So I like to turn this one on, and I think it's helpful. Next, we get into some of the chat. I leave on chat because you're going to want to ask questions. It's up to you if you want, students to be able to save chat or not. I would encourage you though to turn off private chat. Make sure this one's off, because you don't want students sending, private messages. You have no idea what they're being said. And this way, if they've got something to share, let them share with the group. Auto-saving chats, if you're going to do something and you think it might be helpful, you can do that. It'll save the text to your local file. I don't really see the need to save auto chats personally. I figure students can take some notes on that if they want. This one you may want, this is the meeting control toolbar. And so you can see it'll give you the options on, what certain aspects that like annotations and different things like that. Screen sharing, you want to turn it on, and I would encourage you to let all participants share. That way students can share, so they can share what they've done, or if they've gone to breakout groups and they come back, they can share that. What I would encourage you though is have only the host start sharing when someone else is sharing. This way people can't hijack it, right? You don't want a group to share and then another group to start sharing. They will have to basically ask you permission to share, and you can grant it or not. Okay. Make sure both annotation and whiteboard is on. Annotation will let them write on like a PowerPoint slide, for example. If you asked students to jot down, the theme of a scene, this will let them do that. The whiteboard would allow everyone to work on a whiteboard. So like if you're doing a math problem or you're doing a word cloud or something to that effect, this will allow that. And it definitely allows saving because, students might want to save for notes. You might want to save, the auto saving, that's up to you and what you think your students might like. Definitely would encourage you to make sure nonverbal and meeting reactions are turned on. The nonverbal will give you like yes, no, and only you can see it in the chat. So if you ask students a question like, hey, are we ready to move on to the next topic? They can say yes, no, and it's private essentially just to you. The meeting reactions will let kids give thumbs up, thumbs down on their icon window so everyone can see it. I don't think it does thumbs down right now. It's just like thumbs up, clap, smiley face. I think these are helpful just so that way people don't always have to mute if you want to ask the questions themselves. I would also encourage you to allow students to rename themselves. We'll talk more about this in a video for breakout rooms because I think this is going to be helpful. Also, if they're on like their parents' iPad or computer, you don't really want their parents' name to come up, so this will let them kind of, rename themselves. And as you can see here, as we're going through, it'll toggle into like meeting advanced, so that way you can kind of see how this is going to go. So if you're looking, what's the difference here to there? It's about to rotate in a second. Make sure you have breakout rooms on. I like to have allow hosts to assign before the class. This is great because if they're doing group project, for example, you can have students, you can already set up their group. So when you go to breakout rooms, it's already pre-populated. You just send them on the way. Make sure remote support is turned off. If you turn this on, it'll turn breakout rooms off. I'll show you that in a second. See, it's going to affect breakout rooms, so you're not going to want to do that. So leave remote support off. Just have breakout rooms because you'll be able to pop in and out of breakout rooms. So this will be helpful for that. Let students have on virtual backgrounds. Make sure their virtual background obviously is appropriate, but if they share a room or, if they didn't clean the room that morning, it's nice. Plus, every so often you might want a virtual background. So let the students have a little fun with that as well. The other one I would find and turn on is join from the browser link. This is a little known secret in my mind. So this doesn't work on an iPad, by the way. On the iPad, it's only through the Zoom app that kids can get on. But what this will do is if they're on a computer and they haven't downloaded Zoom or like they're on a parent's work computer, when they go to join, in the bottom, it'll be a little link that'll let them join in browser. So it'll literally be like on this kind of browser. It is a little limited, but at least it'll let them join right then and there. They won't, they can solve for downloading Zoom for the next meeting. But you're going to want to make sure this is toggled on beforehand. Okay. I think that's all of them. You want to make sure you save anything, that you might need. One of the things I will tell you is depending on if you've just set up Zoom or if you've used it, some of the features may be toggled on, some of them may be toggled off. So you'll have to go through and check that. If you're looking for one in particular, like you didn't see the mute one, if you're on your Mac, you can hit Command F and just search up here in the bar and it'll find what you're looking for. So if any of the settings, you didn't quite see it as we went through, you can just do it this way as well. So I hope that helps, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.